Guys, I gotta I gotta laugh. I gotta point and laugh because everyone was boycotting the Switch 2. Everyone was being like, "Hey, yo, fuck the Switch 2. This is a bad console. Like, it's overpriced." I mean, it is overpriced, and we're not buying the console. And then boom, it's gonna outperform the first console. You know. Stick to your guns, brother. Like, I was a Nintendo simp from times past. You know, like I was gonna buy the console regardless. Everyone else was complaining about it, and all of a sudden, it's doing better, doing way better than the original Switch 1. Which again, it's a fucking sequel. It should not be doing better. You know, it's a Switch 2. You know, it's not a new like console. It's an upgrade. I see it as like a PS4 Pro with a mouse. Hello, PyroKnights! The name is Shinki Pyre, and today we're going to be reacting to why aren't people buying games anymore? Yes, sir, by the Ackman TV. I'm kind of curious to why people aren't buying games anymore. I think maybe it's just economy stuff. You know, times are changing. You know, there's a lot of different ideas. But like again, I'm kind of curious because as a Nintendo fan and a loyalist at that, I'm buying their games. Like I bought Donkey Kong. I bought the expansion pack for Kirby. I got Mario Kart. I got the Pokemon game. I'm basically gonna be buying Air Ride too. I think I pay for their yearly online service. Like, I'm a Nintendo simp, and I'm not proud of it. But I like their games. That's what can I say. I'm also in a decent spot. So a lot of people do not or are not in spots where they could buy every game that comes out, and I acknowledge that. So let's just like see why people aren't buying games anymore. But before we get into it though, make sure to click in the description below if you want to watch this on your own without me yapping in your left corner and in your ear. But of course, when you're down there and you do like my reaction, or you know, you want to help me out and to reach the 1K, because we're 111 subscribers away from 1K, and I'd really appreciate all the help I could get. But all right, let's get into the Actman. The Actman.
And today, a
All
tragedy
right.
has occurred. Gamers have simply run out of money. There's no more
True.
games to buy.
Yeah, you
The
lost
cost of
harem,
living
dude. You
is
gotta
too
lost
damn
harem.
high. It is quite shocking, to say the least, this article and this report that I just happened across. And I feel like it ties into a lot of what we've been covering on their channel recently, specifically with like Xbox and how they've been
Xbox.
Oh,
guys.
Xbox
Xbox
on absolutely everything. I feel like it's all part of a grand scheme. I don't have a tinfoil hat, but this Seahawks hat is close enough. Right.
True.
Is
Yep.
Microsoft is the big pusher behind this. But what they've been trying to do for years, ever since the Xbox One was revealed, maybe even further back, is they
failure
want to
box.
turn video games and this hobby into something like
Xbox fans,
like streaming services. Why buy DVDs?
Again, I'm a Nintendo fan, so
that thing permanently when you could just sign up for a subscription service.
Wait, chat. Did you guys hear that fucking GameStop decided to say, hey, yeah, the console war is over, guys. The console war is over. Yep, it's done. And they're right. It is over. Xbox fucking died, or they went to Game Pass. Like, Xbox is not what it used to be. I was trying to hold this in, but man, the failure and the fall of the Xbox is just insane to me, because as an OG, like, I mean, well, OG, not really. I started at the 360, like most people my age, and I gotta say, rough time to be an Xbox fan. The Game Pass price got hiked even more. But honestly, the games on there just don't really appeal to me personally as well. The Xbox has kind of fell off, and it's not even trying to keep up. It's like trying to do its own thing, and it's not working. And I don't know what they're doing, you know? Like, they're not even keeping up with PlayStation anymore, and they're just increasing prices for a service that already didn't feel worth the price to begin with. And Xbox Game Pass, I only ever get it for like 2 months out of the year to play the new COD, try it out, and if I like the COD, I'm gonna buy the game fully, but I never end up liking the COD game anyway. So I never end up keeping COD, so I never, or the Game Pass. It's legit just how that goes for me. It's unfortunate that it is like that, but
And although it's
fuck
nice
you,
to be able to
Xbox.
get all
Why'd
this
you
different
fail
content,
on me?
at
I
the end
was
of the
one
day,
of your
you stop paying
OGs.
for that service, you don't get that content.
I went to PlayStation.
So, long story short, I
don't
feel
play
like
that either, though.
Microsoft has been the big
Gotta be
ones
honest.
pushing this in the video game
Yeah,
industry,
Game Pass.
where it's trying to get people to not own video games, to make that as unappealing as possible. Why buy games on Xbox when we make the console as unappealing as possible?
Honestly, though.
In any case, that's my crackpot theory that
it's just
that
a
this
box.
is all
I mean, I know
some
that's what it's
greater
called, but
conspiracy
fucking
to
hell.
price us out of our hobby, which is just so
Legit, though.
fantastic. Alongside, you know, many people not being able to
Nintendo.
afford basic
sorry.
necessities. How about not even basic hobbies?
Times are great. Times are
Oh,
I got a couple
yeah,
articles.
he
I
was
wanna
going
read
into
and
it.
go
He's
over,
going
and
into it.
Let's just talk about that today.
Yeah, yeah.
This comes from Vice. U.S. gamers aren't buying video games anymore.
100%.
New study reveals. You guys really let me down.
I don't want to pause every minute, but I have to say this is on US, but like as a Canadian, it's even worse. Cause like say Nintendo, for example, the game Pokemon was like what? It was like I don't know how much it was in the US, but like for me, it cost $110 plus DLC, $140. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly for the DLC and the game, $110. Because of the game hikes, you know, like for me, when games get upped in USD, well, it's gonna be a fucking slap in the face, for me in terms of what I can play, what I can get, and I still buy them because, well, fucking, I don't know, man. I buy games and I play them for like 2 days and then I put them down. You know, that's when I don't know, man. I'm a reactor. But I do want to play the games eventually. I really fucking do, man. But it's just like gaming is getting more expensive, but then so is everything else in the world. Everything, man. Everything is so expensive. And I fucking hate it.
But you don't have money? Why would you stop consuming? What on
Why?
How could you?
Maybe
A
I
study revealed that a majority
want
of
money
video
in the
game sales are
wallet.
fueled by
Not
only
really.
4% of players. In 2025, 63%
I mean, yeah, I do. Yeah,
of
I mean,
US
yeah.
consumers are buying fewer games.
100%.
Is this a result of what's going on with the economy? Or is this just something that the industry
I
has
do
been
think
pushing towards
games
for
are
a
less
long
interesting.
time? Well, if we think about Stop
These
Killing
days.
Games, what was that all about? It was all about game ownership. You pay for
Gaming
this thing,
owners.
you own it.
Yeah.
Even going so far back, this might be a long shot reference, but don't copy that floppy. Roll the clips, please.
He's old.
Did I hear you right? Did I hear you saying that you're gonna make a copy of a game without paying?
I'm too young for this. I'm too young for this.
They don't.
What's a floppy?
What's the
No,
perfect
I know what a
business
floppy
model?
is.
The one that you keep having to pay
But I am
for.
too young for that.
A new study has revealed that most U.S. gamers are no longer buying video games. I, by the way, am part of the 4%. I mean, you know, this is my job, so. The surprising research
I am
revealed
also
that the majority of
a
game
hobbyist,
sales are
I
supported
guess.
by small groups of
Technically my
hardcore
job. I do
hobbyists.
make money, but I haven't
Couldn't
gotten that
be
much,
me.
so I don't
Could
know. It's not my
be
job.
me.
It's a hobby
I'm not in
that pays me a
demographic.
little bit of
If
sense.
you're watching this, there's probably a good chance you are too, to be honest.
Yeah,
63% of US gamers buy 2 games or fewer per year. This is what made Game Pass so appealing. You can see
Honestly,
kind of
though,
why that business model
it
was
was
so
such a good deal.
successful for a time. And why they're now jacking the prices up
30
on
bucks
that
a month.
and on the
That's
cost of
American, by the
games.
way.
They're not allowed to have fun anymore. Diarrhea forever. You can't even afford your basic hobby.
Chat. I just realized $30 a month might be the same as my discounted student price of Adobe. For my monthly cost on Adobe, I get all their program. I mean, okay, you get all their games on Game Pass, but I get like everything I need to make these videos and more if I wanted to. Like if I wanted to start animating and drawing and shit, I can. I have Adobe stuff. I got their whole suite, all right? For $40 a month. I can put that $40 a month into Game Pass and have Call of Duty and a bunch of other games that I probably don't care about. Let's be real. There's so much many games in there that just don't matter. And Xbox. Okay, I'm sorry.
Anymore. That is kind of a surprising statistic. I mean, what could that indicate? Problems with the economy or problems
Xbox.
in taste? Could it be that most gamers have already found the thing that they're going to invest all this time into? I don't know. I got buddies that play
PC games.
Tarkov and League of Legends, and they
Low
justify continuing to play that because of the money that they've put into it.
Wait.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Gaming habits in the U.S. are drastically shifting. The results were revealed by prolific games industry expert Matt Piscatella. Yeah, let's pull up the graph. Approximately a third of video game players purchase a new video game less often than once per year, while about 36% purchase a new game once a quarter or with higher frequency. Now, when they say new game,
like 3 times,
are they talking about games
new
that
console
just
year, so it's
released?
different.
Or that's probably what it is, because I mean, Steam sales, you can pick up some old games for like $3,
Steam
$5.
Sales, yeah.
This is why you mute
Oh,
your
holy
phone
Steam.
when you record
Oh,
a video.
holy.
I mean, it does seem fairly vague though. How often
Steam
do you typically
boys.
purchase a new game? But this could also be a demographic of people who like don't even watch my videos. You know what I mean? Like if you're watching all my videos, you know, you're probably at 4% or higher. The senior director explained that only 30% of US-based gamers purchased 1 or 2 games per year. However, the even more surprising statistic is that 33% of gamers in the US don't buy any new games at all over a typical 12-month period. So is this like geographical? Are Americans just getting so butt fucked by like wages and corporate greed and all this stuff that we're like, well, back to the farms. Yep. Gotta plow the fields, make enough money to feed my family. It's unclear if this is being impacted by subscription services or the continued popularity of free-to-play games such as Roblox and Fortnite. By the way, don't play Roblox unless you want to get molested for some reason. I don't need to elaborate.
I don't want to play Roblox to begin with, all right?
Games, for example,
I'm a Roblox hater, certified.
Game sales. So kind of like what I said, people that buy a game then invest into it. Well, if you know you enjoy something, are you really going to take the risk buying a game that you may not enjoy, or maybe you want to return it? Or are you just gonna do the safe bet and buy some old games on Steam?
When I buy a game,
massive discounts, or rely on subscription services, or just
when I buy a game, I'm just like, hey, I buy it, that money's gone. I'm probably just gonna keep the game, because I find that at least at some point in time when I buy a game, I always come back to it at least once, or want to come back to it. And on the odd times I do end up returning a game, I kind of end up regretting it in the long run, I think, because it's just like, I think it'll be better to keep it around, because what if you want to play it again? Is that a hoarder mentality? Maybe. Yeah, that's the guy who has like 400 volumes of manga on his ground because I don't have a bookshelf. But like I have lots of manga that I haven't read in years, but they're still out here and not sold on Marketplace. But regardless, right? Keeping games around, I think, is worthwhile, simply because like you can want to play them again. How I see it is, I spent the money's gone. I'm not gonna get that back, and we're just gonna come in returns with that. You know, that's how I see how that goes. You know.
Play through the games you already have.
Money
Matt
gone.
Went on to
Burned.
explain that most game sales in the industry are being fueled by hyper enthusiasts. Couldn't be me. But on the other hand, there is a bright light. The Nintendo Switch 2 boosts console sales to
It's the Switch 2. I mean, it was always going to do good.
A whole lot of sense. If a brand new console is selling like hotcakes, but people aren't buying games for it? What's the correlation? While the above statistics may seem a bit depressing, Circana also revealed that gaming hardware sales are booming. Not for Xbox. But you know what? I want you guys to tell me in the comments down below. How many games do you buy a year? New games. Let's conduct our own
like 3
little poll on this channel. I want to see what the results are. Hardware,
around 3 games, maybe.
Video game hardware spending has grown 20%
like new games
a year ago, reaching 2.9 billion.
No, two.
Nintendo is already outpacing the sales records of the first Nintendo Switch. According to Matt, the Switch 2 is actually outperforming the previous generation by as much as 70.
Guys, I gotta laugh. I gotta point and laugh, because everyone was boycotting the Switch 2. Everyone was being like, hey, yo, fuck the Switch 2, fuck everything, you know. This is a bad console, like, it's overpriced. I mean, it is overpriced, but like, and we're not buying the console, and then boom, it's gonna outperform the first console, you know. Yo, where was y'all? Stick to your guns, brother. Like I was a Nintendo simp from times past. You know, like I was gonna buy the fucking console regardless. So I was there. Like I was there day one. I got pissed I couldn't get the pre-order initially, right? I couldn't pre-order it for day one. I was very mad about that. But everyone else was complaining about it, and all of a sudden it's doing better, doing way better than the original Switch 1. Which again, it's a fucking sequel. It should not be doing better. You know, it's a Switch 2. You know, it's not a new like console. It's an upgrade. That's what I look at this console as. It's like it's a new console, but like it's not. I see it as like a PS4 Pro. You know, with a mouse.
7%. So Nintendo, side note, Nintendo is sitting very pretty. Why is it that American companies are fucking up with their consoles, but if the Japanese ones are just flying off the shelves? What could it have to do with our culture over here? That's what I wonder sometimes. But I guess like if this is an indication that people are really watching their budgets, then from a like marketing standpoint, isn't it the worst fucking time to be raising prices on everything? The answer is yes. I'm not an economist. This is actually impressive when you consider that the Nintendo Switch retails for $499.
Mine was $700.
66.9%.
But I got the bundle.
Price increase over the original Switch. So although US consumers are buying fewer games per year, the industry continues to thrive on console sales. Just makes you wonder.
I don't know why they're built diff, but hey,
maybe it's a good concept.
That's how it is.
However, the main takeaway from this study seems to be that the games industry is still largely being funded by hardcore gaming enthusiasts. As are most hobbies, I would imagine, are fueled by the hardcore enthusiasts. I mean, I have spent a lot on Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Star Wars Unlimited cards. Let's just say that.
Now, this also have started buying Pokemon cards very slowly.
IGN back in July.
I hate myself
younger
for that.
Americans have spent 25% less on video games this year than last. Gotta pump those numbers up, man. Those are rookie numbers. That's according to a report by the Wall Street Journal, which used data from the market research company Circana to analyze the spending habits of young Americans. Okay, so just like this new article did, this one also referenced the same studies. While spending was down 13% across the board from January to April,
18-24-year-olds, that's me.
24-year-olds,
I'm at the edge of that bracket,
on accessories, technology, and furniture, which fell by 18%.
I have to come to terms with the fact that I'm at the edge of that age bracket. I'm gonna be in the 25 zone next year. Oh no, I'm getting old. That's can't breathe. No, guys, I'm cooked.
14% and 12%
cooked chicken.
respectively. Video game spending saw the largest fall. This is not a trend observed in older age groups. I guess I'm old. What is this an indication?
You are.
Of? It sounds like
I'm
Gen Z is getting fucked.
I'm young.
If you are a Gen Z audience member and viewer, tell me again in the comments, do you have a lot of disposable income? Like,
no.
How much are you paying? Like, how many games do you buy a year? And what are your reasons for that? I've got to stay in tune. I've got to stay connected with the youth of today. Otherwise, I'm gonna grow old. Everybody will call me the Unk Man. The Wall Street Journal posits that a combination of economic challenges is driving the decline, with graduates struggling to find employment and credit card delinquency rates highest for 18 to 29-year-olds. Okay, so bad economy plus harder to get jobs plus student loan debt plus having to room with your buddies or your parents, and like not being able to afford a place on your own, and also trying to work full time. It sounds like Gen Z is just trying to survive. You know how the you know how like baby boomers and people
had a job for a while
during or after the Great Depression.
I realized,
how they like
I gotta go back to school.
Stockpiled way too much shit that they really didn't need. Will Gen Z years from now, will that be like something that they psychologically all do because they're operating under this idea of like scarcity? We'll see. I'm interested to see how that is. Young grads are having a much tougher time finding jobs. Student loan payments are restarting for millions of borrowers. Credit card delinquency rates have risen to their highest point since before the pandemic.
Guys, oh my god,
18 to 29.
Anyways,
crazy,
this isn't a credit video. I'm just like, I don't know. Talk about economics and
the money
shit.
they owe on regular spending. It's worth noting that the time period featured in the study does not
VTuber.
include the June launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, which will boost the figures. It seems a lot of people who are, you know, doing rough financially, it's some sliver of happiness you can make room for. You know what I mean? And next year's launch of GTA 6 is expected to set records for consumer spending, not just on video games, but all of entertainment.
I'm gonna buy it.
A funny side note, isn't it interesting how like you know, if you go back in gaming history, you'd hear like Halo 2 broke records for revenue, and then MW2 broke records for revenue, Black Ops 1 broke records for revenue, Halo 3. It is kind of funny how often, like, it shows what an exponentially growing behemoth the video game industry has become. Oh yeah, so the same guy who did the previous study, he said people are still turning up to play games, but engaging more with free-to-play on devices they already have access to. That makes sense.
Fortnite.
The report comes
Whatever
at a
other
time
games
of
I play.
great instability across the games industry,
free.
despite record profits.
League of Legends,
that
that's
make
free, I
sense?
think.
Record profits, but yet like overall spending on video games is down. I think they've cracked it. They've cracked it.
Well,
they've cracked the video game industry.
Game new hard.
You hire people, then you suck their soul out, and then you lay them all off or shut down the studio. Once you get what you want from them,
Xbox.
Like, why would you take care of the people? Yeah, it talks about Redfall developer Arcane Austin.
Take care of your developers.
GameWorks.
They make the games.
Microsoft cutting eye-watering 6,000
Microsoft,
staff.
Xbox.
Funny how Xbox
You're
always seems
fucking
to
idiots.
show up in these conversations about all of the worst things happening in the video game industry.
Xbox makes me mad.
Isn't that just a surprising coincidence?
I don't talk about it often, but
don't you
Xbox
think?
makes me mad. Oh, it's so mad,
if you
so mad,
want
so mad.
my word for it, like, the people that I know and that I talk
Keep
to
your employees,
online,
please.
like some of my patrons, fans, friends.
No, he's
it
playing
seems like
Pokemon.
most of Gen Z, the people that I interact with, they're not living lavishly.
We're not living like Larry.
Trying to get by, and I notice this because often I'll want to play a new or older game with some people, and you know, dude, some of my buddies are like,
I'll let him finish.
oh, that's $5, a dog. I can't spare that right now, and I'm like, dude, it's fine. I'll get the game for you. You know?
wait, I'll get the game for you. Yo, there's been times where friends of mine want to play a game with me. They're like, all right, here's the game. Here you go. I'm like, oh shit, I'm the guy who's struggling too, but like at the same time, I'll shell out money. Like I'll save money for a while just to get the Nintendo stuff. I'm a big Nintendo simp, like you guys know. But like I've said, back to like Nintendo, no one that I know who loves Nintendo. Like no one I know loves Nintendo. Like basically, like I'm close to who play Mario Kart and stuff. So like I have to do Mario Kart Deluxe for my Mario Kart collabs. Which if you don't know, I stream on Twitch and I do Mario Kart collabs and like every couple months or so, I just have some races, have some drinks, hang out with my friends, just stuff like that. But I can't play World because no one has a Switch 2 and no one has Mario Kart World. And that's probably due to the economy and just money and how everything is working. Plus how expensive the Switch 2 is and just like they're up to in a price hiked console and games. So it's the state of the world plus that. And yeah.
No. This is
rough.
something I've witnessed firsthand, at least in my friend group.
Very
Obviously, I'm an outlier because this is my job and I get paid to make videos like this.
Technically,
this is real, I think, and it's interesting.
I do want to start making
to
original
see.
content
in
eventually.
some ways, the hobby is declining or dying.
It is. Oh well, yeah, kind of.
Dying, but you know, the fact that
as long as
it's
there's streamers.
Gen Z and it's like 2 separate studies and 2 separate articles from the same company, and all these other big gaming outlets are covering it. And
we're the future, Gen Z. Let's go. I guess Alpha is the future now.
On this guy, I think that's an indication that times are rough, especially for Gen Z.
Gen Z.
If you are Gen Z or you're not, if you're a cool millennial like me, let me know your thoughts and
I'm
opinions.
a millennial. No, not even gonna talk about that.
Let me know
I see it all the time.
how many games you guys buy a year and why. If times are tough financially, you know, you can give a brief explanation if you want, just to see if there's any common themes, right? Now I'm interested.
I'm in Canada.
I'm
that's my struggle.
What is the cause of this? Why on earth would you spend less money on video games? But yeah, if you like what I do here and want to support the channel, liking and subscribing is always appreciated. If you want to go that extra mile, you can always support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, which will get you access to my...
Subscribe to my channel and subscribe to the Act Man. Hell to the yeah, and I'm not subscribed. What the hell? I guess, oh, this is Act Man TV. It's his second channel. All right. Okay. I will unsubscribe to your second channel, Act Man. There we go. Yeah, guys, I found this video while looking for videos to react to because I had nothing else on the docket. So, anyways, this was why ain't people buying video games. And honestly, I agree. Everything's expensive and everything is upping their price. And sometimes it's just not worth it to play a new game when later on, like according to some of my friends who just wait for a sale to happen. They'll wait. And I'm an impatient bitch, so I'm going to go and buy the game immediately because I can't wait, you know? And I'm impulsive like that, you know what I'm saying? So I buy the game immediately and I play it for a day and put it down and never touch it again. But regardless, I agree. I think prices should be lowered. That's not going to happen, but I think that should happen. And I do believe that people are struggling financially. And I do believe games are just kind of lowering in quality. That's another topic in and of itself, but I do think the average quality of games, in terms of like replayability and just like, you know, playing games as a whole, I think it's lowered. I think it's definitely drastically lowered, and I think we need to address the quality. I think AI and everything is kind of ruining the quality of games because they're making it a little more lazy. But anyways, that's just a huge topic to go into, right? Guys, if you're watching this video this far in the end and you wait us to ramble on for like the minute and a half after the video ended, then you know what? Maybe even leave a like and subscribe. We're on our way to 1K. Again, we're 111 away from 1K. We're in the last little stretch, boys. So like again, if you want to come on and help me out, I'd greatly appreciate that. Before we end the video, thank you to the members, the PyroKnights members, baby. ToadtheToad, thank you a lot for your support. I appreciate it. And again, if you want to be among the people I talk about at the end of the video, then hey, become a member today. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Hell yeah, baby! What a way to end the week. Bye! I get subscribe!